My name is Dr. Elizabeth Kimani Murage. I'm a senior research scientist at the African Population and Health Research Center, Aphrc. I lead the Nutrition and Food Systems Unit, and I'm leading this project. It's called Visibilize4Climate Action. It's about making visible the climate impacts on health. And we are focusing, this is a research project, but it's also an engagement project. We are doing research, we are doing public engagement, and also policy engagement. Under the research, we want to be able to understand the attributable climate impacts on health. And we are focusing on nutritional status for the attributable impacts. But generally for this project, we are focusing on nutritional status, but also mental health, because those two go very closely together. And we know that there has been a lot of impact a lot of climate impacts on nutrition and mental health, but we want to really establish those impacts, attributable impacts of those. So we are doing attribution science to be able to establish the attributable impacts. We are also establishing the lived experiences. We want to understand how have people experienced these climate impacts. How have generations in these communities experienced these climate impacts. So we are focusing on 3 communities here in Kenya. That is Turkana community, Turkana County, where we are right now. We are also focusing on Samburu County, and we are also focusing on Laikipia County. If you look at those counties, they are dryland communities. They are dryland areas where the climate impacts have hit the hardest. But we are not only focusing on Kenya, we are also focusing on the Eastern African drylands. We are working in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. So we want to really establish the impacts on these communities. So we are also going to do the modeling of this impact to see what the actions could actually do. If we act now, what would that impact be? What would be the cost of action, and what would actually be the cost of inaction? So we want to do that kind of modeling.
My name is Mika Born Ochieng. I work at C4 which are the International Centers for Research in Forestry and Agroforestry, commonly known as World Agroforestry, based in Nairobi. And what we'll be bringing to this partnership, and we're excited by this program and by the partnership, is knowledge on land health. So the land degradation surveillance framework to capture information on the ground to combine with satellite imagery for very, very detailed and accurate maps and knowledge on land health, which can inform interventions for monitoring progress and also to see what's working where. We'll also be bringing knowledge on food crop portfolios. So this is combining food trees, which might produce fruit and nuts and other products, with other livestock products, with vegetables or pulses. But the idea of bringing trees into the food production to make sure that there's nutritious food all year round, looking at indigenous as well as exotic species. And we'll also be bringing our knowledge on taking science and information from scientists, but as well as from indigenous knowledge and local experience into decision-making processes. So how we package that, how we bring information together so that we can bring it into where it's needed, to the questions that exist around policy, around planning, and around interventions.
So we want to get the primary information, what the locals are really doing, engage them, and transform that kind of information into policy, and then put it in practice so that they can address their local problems using the local solutions. So ours is to come and tickle out what the locals have, that indigenous knowledge, that inherent knowledge, and then put it in form of policy in terms of dryland transformation interventions, package it so well in terms of their strategic plans through CIDP and many other interventions.
We are considering agroecology, which we'll be working with communities to understand issues of agroecology and the principles of agroecology, and the policymakers to see where they are. We want to assess readiness of the communities and the policymakers on where they are with agroecology, their understanding and in terms of practice, and where can we take it, how can we adopt it. And not only agroecology, we are considering agroforestry, and that's why we have ICRAF as C4ICRAF as part of our partners, because they deal with agroforestry. We want to be able to understand where communities are in terms of agroforestry and how can we adopt it in these communities, so that it as a way of mitigation and adaptation for climate change.
Today, I am joining University of Nairobi and the representatives from African population and health research and other partners to officially launch Visibilize4Climate Action project in Turkana. This project simply means we engage with the community at various levels to understand the impact of climate change in our lives and what we as the Turkana County government see as the solution to support the efforts that mitigates climate change. 9-point agenda Turkana outlines food security in terms of looking at food systems, hubs, livestock production, increased access and extraction of water for multiple uses, including its assessment for its viability for farming and fishery sector. Those are livelihoods that are threatened by climate change. The position of Turkana looks at the relationship between what technology or what does science provide as the solution that is going to help us to address the compounding challenges of malnutrition, health, food security, livestock production, skills development, and citizen formation and engagement. And we see that this is only feasible when institutions of higher learning and partners are engaged in research. The research is going to give us the evidence to also see if our One Health strategy that is taking a multi-sectoral approach is visible, how the feedlot system that the national government and county governments are working to improve on the livestock sector is going to work, how we develop long-term plans that fits in the vision of introducing technology in climate smart agriculture and food systems, crop production, and how we can utilize long-term planning to inform the citizens on how to engage at various levels. So we are very excited as the county government that institutions of learning led by University of Nairobi. For Aphrc as an organization, we have different thematic areas, but for this one, we do what we call livelihood and animal welfare. We also do what we call disaster risk reduction and climate change. And another thematic area, we also do research and policy advocacy. So for this project for visibilizing climate change action, we believe by engaging our communities, it will be best that the communities that we work with across the border and inside Turkana County is that they're able to be impacted in a positive way. We understand we do as an organization working with groups, our community groups at the village level, around 9 of them, and we do, apart from just advocation and other things, we will try also to impact their lives through the diversification of their income, through beekeeping, that is honey production, through fodder production, and also we try and engage them in other local materials.
So we are working with communities. They know what is good for them. They know what is existing in these communities. How can we enhance utilization of the resources in the communities to be able to promote nutrition and health, and really address the issues of climate impacts on health. So we have many partners that we are working with. First of all, we are working with the government. We are working with the national government, the different ministries that link to climate and health. But we are also working with the county governments here in Turkana, in Samburu, and we are also working with the county government of Laikipia. We are working with the different partners that we are doing this research and engagement with. We have C4ECRAF, we have PELAM, Kenya, that is working with us. We have the University of Nairobi. We have also partners that are from the media. Like we are working with different media groups locally and also nationally to be able to enhance to visibilize, make visible the climate impacts on health. But we also have non-local partners. We have partners from the different countries that we are working in. We are working with Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. So we have Makerere University from Uganda, Mekele University from Ethiopia, and also SUA, Sokoine University of Agriculture in Tanzania. We also have partners from the global north that are also working with us to be able to do the research and also the engagement. So we are working with the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, who have a lot of experience on the space of climate and health, and they are helping with the modeling work. We are working with the University of Oxford, who have experience with attribution science, so they are helping us with that aspect of the research. And we are also working with Loughborough University, who have been working with us for a very long time, for over 10 years, on issues of nutrition and health. So we'll be working with them on the research and also on the engagement.